Welcome to the walkthrough for the Financial Recovery Operating System. We all know the saying that the house always wins, but very few people treat that as a mathematical reality. Casinos and trading platforms use algorithms and behavioral psychology to engineer your losses. If you're trying to stop by just using willpower or promising yourself that you'll stop, you're fighting a mathematical system with an emotional one. That is a losing strategy. To beat a system designed to extract your wealth, you need a system designed to protect it. I approach this problem like an engineer. I spent the last month building a recovery system in Notion that tracks more than just your days clean. The system tracks your recovery health along with many other metrics, using measures like days clean against daily difficulty and urge intensity to predict relapses before they even happen. In this video, I'm going to show you the logic behind the system, walk you through the daily workflow, and show you the formulas that power the analytics. Let's get stuck into it. So beginning with the main dashboard, this will be the main section that you interact with in the system. It'll have your core why, some sayings that help you kind of feel that motivation, but then more analytical elements too. So it has the system core, where it tracks your lifetime savings based on your estimated losses per month, tracks your recovery health, which is based on your urge intensity and your streak clean. It has a calendar view similar to GitHub of days clean in green versus days where you placed a bet in red. Tracks your current streak, tracks your longest streak, and it tracks your 30-day success rate as well. So to begin, to log a urge, you'll click this new urge button right here. And when you click this button, the page will come up and you'll insert a craving title. So let's say watching sports. Create a date. You'll edit that to be whatever day you created it. So let's say January 6th at 10 p.m. Add that. And then you'll say the urge intensity on a scale of 1 to 10. Let's go with 5. The root cause, external trigger, watching sports. The defense you used, which could be any of these options, and you can add your own, which I'll show you how later. Let's go with review your why. Outcome, urge passed, urge lingered, or you gave in. For this one, let's say the urge passed. And the estimated bet size, let's say $200. Okay, and it automatically tracks the time of day based on the created date, and then these are all your data inputs. And if I went through that too quickly, when you click this button, it will also immediately show you how to put in the initial data inputs and then a system to prevent your urge as well. So then we can exit that and it'll automatically be tracked in the database. Now, at the end of each day, you'll go through your daily accountability section, which will automatically only show today's date. And so you can either say bet free or you placed a bet. So in this case, we were bet free. So we'll click bet free and it'll add a day to our tracker in green, as you'll see. You can set your mood for the day. So today, let's say I was neutral. You can set the daily difficulty, which will be tracked in a different database. Let's say daily difficulty 6. And those are all the inputs for this section. The final thing you can do is start a new journal entry. So here you can click that button and open a journal entry, and then this will take you to a guided reflection that you can do, which all is centered around your addiction and how you can improve upon it. And you can obviously not follow the guide or make your own guide depending on what your own personal preferences are, but it's an option that I wanted to include. Now going back to the main dashboard, that summarizes the entire system from the main dashboard, and this is your primary input section. And then you move on to the systems analysis and growth section, which sometimes takes a second to load because there's a ton of valuable data in here. You track basically everything. So here's your systems analysis and growth. It has a quarterly heat map, which tracks your amount days clean versus days you placed a bet in the past quarter. It tracks your urges per day trend over the last 14 days. So you can see if this is a mock database that I created. You have one bet on this day, 2 bets on this day, and this lets you see your actual trend, whether or not your number of urges are decreasing or increasing, or what days you might have more urges than other days. All extremely helpful data. And then you can also see your general scoreboard, which is very similar to that first page. So your current streak, your longest streak, your lifetime savings, and your recovery health. And it also has information on your threat intelligent along with explanations. So your momentum spark line, which tells you whether or not you're getting better or worse. So in this case, it's falling, meaning that it's getting better because I'm having less cravings this week than I was last week. Then you can see your craving intensity spread. So I've had 0 low intensity cravings. Most of them are mid to high intensity. And then you can also see your top craving causes. So you can see what gets your gears turning negatively. So external trigger being something along the lines of, I don't know, your friends wanting to gamble, you watching sports, an advertisement popping up, your friends going to the casino, boredom, chasing losses, general willpower fatigue, and the big win fantasy. And then these are your craving time windows. So morning, afternoon, evening, and night. So as you can see here, the danger zone is clearly the evening for me. Now it also has strategic correlation. So you can see which defenses that you use that are most effective, how many times you've used them, what they are. So these can be your go-to strategies. It has your mood matrix. So this shows your mood, obviously. So stressed, there's one day. And then it also shows the average daily difficulty correlated with that mood. So when you're stressed, even though there's one input, but your average daily difficulty is 10, versus when you're tired, your average daily difficulty is 5.5, and so on and so forth. So you can see that in this matrix, stress is clearly the largest impactor of your propensity to place a bet. And then finally, we go down to our full history, which shows the full year of you placing bets versus not placing bets. And so you can see all the progress you've made, the amount of days you've tracked. And this is a really good way to visually see your success and your motion forward. You're going to see hopefully 20 green dots and 3 red ones. And then slowly that number will decrease and decrease, and you'll have way more wins than you will losses. And that will be a great indicator of your success. So now, going back to our main dashboard, we saw here this systems analysis and growth was the page we were just on. Now we'll move into the defense plan. So this shows all of the defenses available to you, and you can also add more that work for you. So once again, it has that same log urge to bet now button, which was on the main dashboard, which opens up the exact same page where you log the time, the difficulty, the strategy you used, and so on and so forth. Has the protocol. So first you log the data using that button, and then you execute your defense. So these are some defenses I had listed because they were the quickest and lowest effort level to activate. And then they're also ordered by success rate and how many times you've used them. And then this is the full defense kit. So this is organized by the urgency of the defense, meaning you're in a crisis versus it's a low urgency crisis or event. And then it also organizes them by the type of defense. So whether or not it's an accountability. So review your why is accountability based. And then down here, there's emotional coping. So urge surfing, gratitude journal, and so on and so forth. And each like defense intervention that you have, it has a set of what it is, how to execute it, and why it works. So you'll see for urge surfing, it is you set a timer for 3 minutes, you sit still, observe the physical sensation of the urge. Why do you have that urge? What do you feel? Don't fight it, just observe it. And then be aware of the urge. That's an example. And then gratitude journal, that one's more self-explanatory. Take a cold shower, also more self-explanatory. But every single one you open will have an explanation of what it is and how you can execute it. So this sets you up with around 15 tools right away that you can use each time you feel an urge to help you fight it and move forward with your day, hopefully passing your urge. Now, let's get in a little bit to the back end. So these are things that you will not want to go in and change, except for one thing, which I'll quickly show you. Everything else will just be a back-end database that you don't really need to interact with at all. So this is your progress master tracker database. So this is where you input your daily inputs on the master tracker, but this is where every single day you've logged shows up. You can see there's also a bunch of other properties to the side that are based on formulas that I don't want you to interact with because it will negatively impact the other formulas. But yeah, so this is the database. Tracks your urges, tracks your daily difficulty, so on and so forth. Then the urges and triggers log, same thing. It just shows your inputs for that button and then connects it to the other systems and other databases. System statistic is where the magic happens. There's a ton of formulas in here that I want to show you guys because I think this is the best indicator of the value that this system will bring to you. So here you can edit this average monthly loss. This is the one number that I want you to come in and edit because this is a personalized number. So let's say your average monthly loss is $2,000 because the estimated savings number tracks your days clean on an aggregate basis of your average monthly loss to indicate your lifetime savings. So that's important. Other than that, current streak is a very long, complicated formula. Same with 30-day success rate. These quarterly and monthly views are very intense and took me a long time to make work, but they let you have that visual, which I think is extremely important. And all of the formulas for the whole system are in here, including their visualization and everything. So you can see, timing analysis, you can see the display, you can see the formula, you can see the logic. I recommend if you want to understand it better, throw it into an AI and say, what's this formula doing? That might be helpful for you, but I do think they're pretty self-explanatory if you wanted to just take them at face value, because I did a good job of making them pretty authentic and easy to understand. And then there's also a ton of formulas here in the back end. Links to other databases, current streaks, everything of that nature to really make this system valuable. But you don't need to interact with this system statistics page pretty much at all because all of your interaction happens on these user interfaces. You can hop in also to your resources and defenses database. This one you can add new defenses that are suited to you. Everybody has different defenses. Maybe you don't like any of these and you'd rather make your own. That's cool. You can make a new one here. There's a template for a new defense, the action plan, why it works, and then you would edit like the category of defense that it is, the effort level, and so on and so forth. Obviously you wouldn't edit the success percent because that is a formula, but anything that is not a formula, so you wouldn't edit success percent, you wouldn't edit times used, but you could edit category, effort level, urgency, and obviously the name here. That would enable you to add new defenses and it would show up in your database, as you can see here. And then it would also show up on your defense plan dashboard. Lastly is the inner work journal, which is self-explanatory. That just shows your journal entries and the date they were created. So overall, that's the system. And by using this system, you'll be able to take data-driven insights into your urges to gamble that negatively impact your financial health rather than just using willpower. Okay, I won't gamble. I promise myself that I won't. This instead takes your willpower and turns it into statistical analysis of how you can succeed, why you're failing to succeed, and also motivation for your streaks and your health and better understanding yourself and your urges to gamble. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found some value out of this system, and I hope you adopt this system for yourself to help you fight through your urges to gamble and ultimately achieve a better financial future for yourself and for your family if you have one. Thank you. Bye-bye.